UFC 312 just finished, and I'm going to pick a couple of fighters, a couple of fights to look at, and we're going to see what to do next with them. So the first fight, obviously, to start with, is the main event, Du Plessis vs Strickland. I really enjoyed the fight, but the biggest thing about the fight, I thought, was the difference in each fighter and how much they've improved since their last fight with each other. It wasn't that long ago, it was about just over a year ago. It was like a year and 2 weeks. And Du Plessis got so much better, where Strickland, he's still amazing, but he's just not quite improved enough. Strickland knew what he had to do to win this fight. He knew he had to be more aggressive. He knew he couldn't just throw 100 jabs. He's still just done that. He didn't do anything where I was like, oh my God, wow, he's now doing this, he's now doing that. Where Du Plessis, he was using that left kick so often. He didn't wrestle. He got one takedown, I think, in the end of round 3. And Strickland kind of instantly got back up, which I thought was a super smart game plan from him, because it didn't fatigue him really. He didn't see him tired that often. I felt like if there was another 3 rounds, he probably could have still done it and kept the same pace. The most impressive thing I thought was other than maybe, I think it was round 2 or 3, but round 1 and whatever the other one of that was, and 4 and 5, dominant, easy win. I thought he 50-45 them. I thought he won all 5 rounds, and only one of them was like semi-close, but even then, like, he was so good, Du Plessis. And Strickland, I thought, obviously, the last 2 rounds where he breaks his nose, not impossible to win, but it would be super difficult to win, especially at the situation he was in, because every time he'd get kicked in the nose or punched in the nose, I imagine that was unbelievable pain. But even before that, like the first 2 rounds, you're just not doing enough. And Eric Nixon's shouting at you in the corner saying, come on, you need to do more. And still, didn't really do much different. I thought even Strickland should have wrestled. Well, who knows. But definitely, Chimaev obviously faces Du Plessis now, and I am so excited to see that fight. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I really don't know who I'm going to pick. I think, obviously, round 1 and 2, it's all Chimaev. Like, if Du Plessis can get past round 1 and 2, then I think even then I back Du Plessis after round 2. But Chimaev, like, look what he just done to Whittaker. Smashed all his face in, smashed all his teeth in. Like, he's so good. So, do I think Chimaev will beat Du Plessis? I think maybe, but Du Plessis is massive, absolutely massive. Like, I know Sean Strickland are probably the same size as in, like, height, but actual frame, Du Plessis looks so much bigger than him. And I don't know, I can't wait to see the Chimaev fight. But I do think they'll probably fight the latter end of the year. I know Du Plessis wants it International Fight Week, but I reckon it'll be more like October, November, maybe like an Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia card. Yeah, that's what I reckon. And then Sean Strickland, there's loads of stuff you can do with Sean Strickland now. He could fight people a bit lower down the division, maybe the winner of Anthony Hernandez, Brendan Allen, who fight at UFC Seattle. But I think the obvious one to do is, because he's not retiring, is Israel Adesanya rematch. I think when Sean Strickland beat Adesanya, it was so crazy, no one expected it. It was in Australia that, like, we kind of have to run it back to see if that was a fluke, or to see if Sean Strickland does have Adesanya's number. So I think that'd be the perfect fight to either make or break Adesanya. I think if he loses that against Strickland, he has to retire. Has to. And then if Sean Strickland loses that, it's still alright. He's still a big name. He's still controversial, should we say, on the mic. So he will still draw a crowd, even if he loses to Adesanya, who's such a big draw anyway. That won't really matter for Sean Strickland. Then he could fight loads of people. He could fight Imanov versus Bahalio, whoever loses that. There's loads of people. So them two, I definitely think Du Plessis should fight Chimaev and Strickland should fight Adesanya. moving on to the next fight on the card, Weili Zhang versus Tatiana Suarez, and out of all the fights on the whole card, there was loads of really good performances, but this was my most impressive one. Weili was so good, and she was the underdog. Looking back, I don't understand in any way how she was the underdog. She's got loads of defenses, she's the champion, and Suarez hasn't fought in like 2 years. So looking back, I have no idea how she's the underdog. I think people get caught up in other people's like accomplishments in other combat sports. So if you're really good at a certain combat sport, jiu-jitsu or wrestling like Suarez obviously, I think people are forgetting this is MMA. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think people think just because you're a college level wrestler or Olympic level wrestler, whatever, they're thinking that, oh, they're going to destroy this MMA wrestler. Do you know what I mean? Like, Weili was getting takedowns of her own. She defended 14 out of 15 takedowns. Unbelievable. Such a good performance. And don't be wrong, Suarez obviously won the first round. But then after that, Weili's kicks were so good. That left kick, that left switch kick is so hard. And she's done so good. I think that cements her with ease as the strawweight greatest of all time now. I think, obviously, she already, in my opinion, is better than Joanna, and she's now tied her for the amount of defences. So she's definitely the GOAT of the strawweight division. And now I want to see her fight Shevchenko. I don't want to see her fight another up-and-coming contender. A lot of them, people don't really know. They haven't got as big of a name anymore. Like, the Amanda Lemos fight, it was amazing. But, like, how many people are remembering that? Where, when Weili fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk, one of the best fights of all time. And then the second fight, the spinning back knockout, unbelievable. Everyone remembers that she fought Rose. Everyone remembers all these top level fights. But now, we're kind of struggling for them. She's wiped the whole division out. So I really want her to fight Shevchenko. I think that would be such a good fight. I think Weili will have the grappling to match Shevchenko. It's just, does she have the power in the striking to match Shevchenko's, obviously Shevchenko's striking, because she's super, super high level. So, be such a good fight. Suarez, pretty difficult what she does next, because she was super upset at the end of the fight, which is understandable, like, but she has really long time off in between fights. So I think if she wants to get back in that title contention, wants to fight again for the title, she needs to be way more active. She can't just be, I'll have a year off, then fight once, then have another year off. I understand injuries completely understand injuries, but she's got to fight a bit more regularly and then come back, because she's 34 now too, so like, don't want to leave it too long and then she's too old and she's out of her prime, and who knows. But hopefully she can get back to it, because you don't want to see anyone have a fall off. On to the next one, Teixeira. He obviously knocked out Justin Tafa in like a minute. Nasty knockout, absolute nasty knockout. And the heavyweight division, it's in a bit of a weird situation where like there's about 5 big names who are just destroying everyone. So the heavyweights need contenders. So maybe lower down the division, I'd say maybe like if there's a big name, push him or don't push him, and you can manage fighters a lot better in different divisions. But with the heavyweight one, it's hard because they're in need for contenders. So maybe with Teixeira, maybe you wait him out, and he's only 25, 6'7", nasty knockouts. I think he's won in round 1 in every fight. So maybe feed them a couple of more lower ranked people and then give them the top 15s and up. Or do you straight away just go, yeah, let's fight some big guys now? Rosenstrike's gone. Tafa's obviously, well, he might not, but I reckon Tafa might get cut. Tai Tuivasa's not doing very well. Like, there's loads of heavyweights on the downfall. So with Teixeira, me personally, I would wait. I'd definitely give him 1 or 2 more fights, because Tafa's got no grappling at all. So maybe challenge him against a grappler. Maybe put him against Dontel Mays versus, I think he's fighting Victor Walker, so maybe the winner of that would be perfect. But it's hard with the heavyweights because you don't want to push them too early where they end up just getting knocked out by someone who's just way more athletic. But Teixeira looks really good. He's 6'7", massive, serious power. So it'd be good to see what they do with him. He obviously took no damage in the slightest, so hopefully he can have a quick comeback. And at heavyweight, you want to fight as much as possible if you don't get damaged, because you can just rack up the knockouts, rack up the wins, and you'll fly up the rankings. Moving on to Crute versus Bellato, I think they should just run it back pretty easy. I did have Crute winning because I thought Crute either won the second round, or I thought the second round was a draw. And then I do think he 10-8'd the first round. So either way, he would have won that fight. But they just run that back. Jake Matthews, good little win over Prado. I think Prado should drop down. I've seen so many people saying, like, why is Prado at welterweight? He should be a lightweight. He is only 22 or 23. So big future in the sport. Jake Matthews, though, I like the Neil Magny fight. I think two veterans of the sport fighting each other, perfect. Do it like in the summer, end of the summer, be perfect for them. For Jake Matthews, boxing looks really good. His left hooks were nasty. He'd always either start or end his combos with the left hook, and I thought they were really, really good in this fight. Moving on to Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Gabriel Santos looks like the real deal. Jack Jenkins let my bet down, but I was gutted because I thought that first round, when he landed that head kick, I thought he was going to knock him out. But then he got, like, I don't know what it was, maybe he got too over emotional because it's in Australia. He wanted the finish and then just threw himself in the triangle, which was a bit mad. But yeah, Gabriel Santos' grappling looks nasty, really nasty. He'd be a really good little fighter for the lightweight division, for the featherweight division, sorry. So maybe give him like an Alex Caceres. I think that'd be a really good fight, seeing that one out there. See what he's like against a high level striker, but see if he can still impose that grappling against Alex. And then moving on to Tom Nolan, who I thought was really good in this fight against Borislev. A lot of people, like so many people, are backing Borislev in this fight, and I understand he's a super high level striker, but Tom Nolan looked really good, especially that first round, throwing loads of spin and stuff, nearly getting a guillotine, or I think it might have been a darce actually. But yeah, it'll be dead fun. 6'3" at lightweight, amazing. And then the last two people I'll talk about, Wang Kong. I understand people not wanting to push up and coming fighters or fighters who've only had a couple of fights in the UFC. She is ready for the rankings. She is ready to fight someone top 15 and up. She looked so good today against Bruna Brazil. Striking so clean. She manages range so well. But what I do notice, when she does come in close though, she does get hit quite a bit. But I'm not sure if that's because she's so dominant on the outside that when she comes in and gets cracked once or twice, everyone's like, whoa, because she's so good. So I thought the striking was top level, but she was getting takedowns. She got like 2 or 3 takedowns in there, so she shows that she does have a bit of grappling. Bruna Brazil was meant to go in there and out grapple her, and I done a video on her saying on Kong Wang saying that she's got to be careful of Bruna Brazil's body kicks and knees, but they were no problem for her. Her game plan was perfect. Her leg kicks were solid, and she should definitely fight a top 15 now. Valentina Shevchenko is on her way out. She might not retire in the next 2 years, but she's coming towards the end of it. Wang Kong versus Shevchenko, that's the female Alex Pereira, Izzy. I want to see that fight. Everyone wants to see that fight. We want to see narratives that have come from other combat sports. It makes it more fun. It's easy to promote, and it's easy to get behind. So I'd like Wang to get pretty bumped up the rankings quite fast. I'd like her to be active. She only fought 4 months ago in November, the end of November too. So she's quick turnaround, and I'd like to see another quick turnaround from her because she didn't take that much damage either. And then finally, perfect way to end, Alexander Topuria. If Ilia Topuria is anything to go off, he is the absolute real deal. Colby Thickness, I know he only got a 1-fight deal, but he looked legit. He looked really good. No one who's 25 years old and is Alexander Volkanovski's main training partner, is never going to be rubbish. Do you know what I mean? They're always going to be good. But that first round, Topuria absolutely outclassed him. Dropped him with an overhand right, and then that suplex was maybe one of the best suplexes I've ever seen in my life. It was so good. Colby got stuck with his knees in his head, like he got stuck with his legs over his head, and he was stuck there. Topuria was so good, and then for the second and third round, he almost like just played it strategic. I know round 2 was quite close, but still Topuria won. Not taking any unnecessary risks, nice and calm, and winning the round easy. Didn't take any damage. So I think it would be quite fun to see both of the brothers on the same card, but I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll wanna after like be worried about the other person fighting while they're fighting, if you get what I mean. So the fight that I'd love to see next, because like Kong Wang, Topuria, we can shoot him up the rankings. We don't need to manage him really that much. We know he's going to be amazing. You know what I mean? So I think the best fight, the fight I'd love to see now, is Topuria versus Garbrandt. I think that'd be such a good fight. Garbrandt's on the way out, so if Topuria wins, he can make a name of beating Garbrandt. And if Garbrandt wins, he's back in there. He's just beat Topuria's brother, but Alexander Topuria. So I think that'd be such a good fight. And when huge fighters are coming up the rankings or moving up the division, there's always one huge name that they beat. Perfect example, Darren Till beat Cowboy Cerrone. Loads of people knew Cowboy Cerrone. So once Darren Till beat him, everyone goes, whoa, he just beat Cerrone, this guy must be the real deal. The same way, if Alexander beats Garbrandt, they go, whoa, Topuria's brother, Alexander Topuria, he's just beat Garbrandt, he must be legit. And if he styles on him, if he knocks him out, subs him, then it's a definite that he can go all the way to the top. Let me know what you think. Really enjoyed the card. Obviously next week is Cannonier versus Rodriguez, so I'll be doing a couple of videos on that. Maybe even do another video talking about someone on this card, but definitely loads of videos on that, and I'll see you later.